Alright, so it's been about 2 weeks of drying time, and what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to take these tacks out and take the nails out. I also want to show you the eyes. I'm going to put a little clay in the eyes and let that dry a little bit, and then I'm going to come back and do some painting. So let me just give you some up close view here, and I'm also going to take you back over to my other deer mounts because I want to show you a couple things and compare as we move into this process. So one thing I'm going to do differently, actually let me turn the light on here. One thing I'll do differently next time is use smaller pins. These are a little bit thick, and so they kind of left some holes. I kind of covered them up in the bottom here a little bit. I'm going to have to do a little more, but you can see these two holes right here. This is real fine right in here, and they even got a little bit rusty. So next time I'll use regular pins. For up around here, I had put these nails in, and that just helps to keep the skin from pulling away. I did brush the hide a little bit. I just got like a regular brush, like an animal that you'd used on a pet, and I brushed the hide a little bit, so it's looking pretty good. The ears are solid in there because the clay is all dried. So right in here, looking at the eye, what I did, and I didn't video it because I didn't always have time, but I came down every day for this time period, and this area right in here wants to pull away from the eye, so I just gently pushed it back in to sort of train it in there as it was drying. Let's get that light on for a second. So it's in there pretty good. I don't know why my light is doing that. So it's up against the eye pretty good, but it had pulled away and wanted to pull away each day kind of significantly. So you definitely want to, monitor that and get in there. So what I'm going to basically do here, I got a little bit of a glitch right there. That's all going to be painted over. And in here, the tear duct, I'm going to be painting all that. I'll show you with the other mounts real quick. Same over here. Alright, so I'm just going to start pulling these out. So this was my first time doing this around the mouth like this, just to help hold it in. And I already bought regular pins. These are just a little bit, the diameter of these are a little too thick. So on the sides here, you're not going to really be able to see it, but in that front, like I showed you, it's going to show up a little bit. So next time I'll use regular pins. I also didn't expect these to rust the way they did, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. So where I have a very faint gap right here, I'm just going to put a little clay down in there. And I'm also going to put some clay in this tear duct, which reminds me, I wanted to show you on the other mounts how they do that. Let me give you a close-up of that tear duct. So this is what I have right now, and I'm going to basically put the clay in there, and that'll all get painted. I'll go take you over to the other mounts now and show you what I mean. So here you can see they filled that in and painted over that. Same there. Same here. And you just put a little bit in there and kind of paint over, paint all around the eyes. Filled that one out. It's a little bit more, boogered up, if you want to call it that. Also, this guy here, he, put this little line indentation in here. It's a little unnatural looking on the way he did his, with that line coming down. I kind of looked at this one and just made a little bit of a bump out for the eyelid on mine. I'll show you that. So on my eyelid here, I have a little, probably too much clay. I'll do a little less next time, but I put the little, formed out that little eyelid right there just for detail. So all I'm doing is I just put a little piece of clay on there, and then I'm just pushing it down in that slot with this and wiping off all the excess. And that's really just so I can paint it. So now that little tiny gap that I have in there is filled with that little bit of clay. That's going to enable me to paint it. And the way I'm getting down in there is I'm just rolling it into a like little cigar shape, like this. Sticking it on there, taking my tool and pushing it down in that little slot, and then wiping off the excess. I'm basically going to do the same in this little tear duct here. I'm just rolling out a little bit of clay. I'm going to put it there, push it back in there. So here's a look at what I just did with that tear duct. And the skin's a little bit lighter in color right there. And I'll just be painting all this uniform, but that tear duct right there is looking good.